Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check, waifu, waifu. King, tell him, is that you?
It is episode 354. We here.
This is episode 354 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. As always, brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu Waifu is where you can get early access to the video version of this podcast, where you get access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, The After Stories. We're going to get access to the pre-show, which goes live 2 days before this episode airs for everybody. Make sure you check out the Patreon, patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Shout out to the Patreon producers explicitly. Ked the Pro from Chaotic Culture Podcast, Fear, Semi Sensei, Frozen, T Money Fingers, Dad Needs to Talk Podcast, Christian the Archivist, aka Death Site, Rob Stone, and last but certainly, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for producing this and many episodes of the podcast. Rob Stone, Matthew H. the Great, and TK does gaming. Make sure you check out our pre-show where we discussed a lot of the gaming news that dropped over the weekend. So for those of you that are into gaming, yes, we are coming back with our gaming podcast eventually. Sorry, it's taking a little bit. We're gonna get that situated. But in our pre-show, we talked all our gaming thoughts on the showcases and stuff like that. Shout out to Rob Stone for bringing that a topic. And for some reason, the Patreon order got all weird. So that's okay. Anyway, let's Mic Check Waifu Waifu is the anime podcast brought to you every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Central Time. We got a very interesting show for you today. We plan on bringing a couple of topics, but before I get into those couple of topics and what our episode of the week is this week, I do want to announce that next week is our summer preview episode. So those of you who are familiar with the podcast already knows how this goes, but for the uninitiated, every season we do a preview of the next season towards the end of the current season. So with that being said, summer preview episode is next week. What that means we're going to take a look at the summer season and build our Annie list, watch list together on the show. And this is where you join in and you give us what you plan on watching next season. Your most anticipated, the show that you want to pick as your sleeper. Now, sleepers. The way sleepers work is that it's a show that you know nothing about, okay, that just looks interesting. So when you go to the summer list and Annie list and you see, oh, that looks interesting, not that you somewhat know about, that you know got a little bit of information on, shout out to our Discord for completely eliminating a show for me personally for our sleeper pick, because in our anime talk, they talked about a show that apparently has been out some already. They did like shorts or whatever. Shout out to TCB and Kilo for dropping that. So I think it's like Smoking Behind a Convenience Store or some shit like that. Whatever that show is, that can't be my sleeper because that seems to already have a lot of information out and I've read it in our Discord, so I can't pick that as my sleeper. It's unfortunate. But the goal is to have a show that you have no prior knowledge of, that you can choose as your sleeper pick, that you have to watch during that season. And yes, sometimes you do have to call them mulligan because some shows are just terrible, but that's the fun in discovering new shows. That's the point of it.
True.
But yes, you pick your sleeper and you share it with us in our Discord in this episode's show notes. So in 354 podcast discussion in our Discord, discord.miccheckwaifuwaifu.com, or on our YouTube comments like Rob Stone does. It doesn't matter. Just give us your most anticipated, your sleeper picks, etc. All the instructions will be in our Discord and in the description of this YouTube video. So thank you so much for that. Please be excited because I know I am. Big season next season. Like, yeah. Just for example, Jobless Reincarnation is back, and it's one of our goats. So,
oh my goodness,
we're excited. Okay, Tell. Let's start off with our episode of the week before we get into the rigmarole or our topic of things.
I was gonna pick the same one I chose last week, but
It's so hard not to. God damn it, it's such a good episode.
I'm gonna throw an audible, and I'm gonna go clap some Elite.
Good choice too. Great choice. Great choice as well. I'm gonna throw an audible too because yes, we can pick ReZero again, but that'd be the 4th week in a row, I think.
Hey.
Don't want to do that. I'm gonna go with Nippon. Nippon continues to be great. This episode was fantastic. I can't wait to see what next week is gonna hold after what we just got at the end of this one. Very interesting stuff. Very interesting stuff. All right. Now the topics for today is going to be a little bit all over the place because this is kind of like the in-between floater area. Oh yeah, next week aren't we supposed to? No. We're reviewing something at the end of the season. That's going to be I Made Friends with the Second Prettiest Girl in My Class. Still got a couple episodes. We're fine. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, so I was going through some things and I saw a video on my YouTube. And the video that popped up had the title of This Author is Weird. Okay. And I had to click on it because guess what the thumbnail was?
What was it?
It was Written Girlfriend. So I want to talk about the attachment to your art. And this might be an antagonist. I don't know if I have the button ready or if I'm even prepared to do it. But there is, and I'm going to spoil Rent a Girlfriend, okay? I am going to spoil Rent a Girlfriend all the way up into where it is in the current chapters right now. Because I think this is very poignant to what we're about to discuss. But that's okay because everybody in our community hates this fucking show anyway and nobody's going to watch it or read it. But I have to discuss this because I think it's important. How attached do you get to your art? And the reason why I say that is because apparently the author, the mangaka of Rent a Girlfriend is so attached to his art that he completely tanked his series because of his attachment to the character that he created. So for example, there is something in chapter 380 that just released recently of Rent a Girlfriend. Kazuya, I think that's his name. He confesses to Chise and she rejects him. After spending 250,000 yen on her, after getting her a better job, after being there when her grandmother passed, after doing all this stuff for her, and she still rejects him. And now the reason why she rejects him, and this is a speculation on the community's part, but rightfully so because of what's been done. Speculation is that the author has rejected him for the, quote unquote, the final time, because this is close to the end of the series, I guess, because he loves Chitose. He goes around drawing her in real life in his bed. Okay. He draws her on dates with him, on a train with him. He talks about how much he loves her. He has a lifestyle statue in Japan that he goes visit every single day. He draws her in his shower, at his front door. And he talks about how much he loves Chichose, but in a way that's saying by like introducing her as his girlfriend. Now this is the author. I'm not talking about our main character. This is the mangaka of Rent a Girlfriend doing all of this. And he talks about how much he loves her. So he's so attached to his work, the character that he created. He's in love with her to the point where he allegedly creates a falsified relationship of them two being together. And I just think being that attached to your work is scary. Not only is it creepy, not only does it make your work it makes it even more not watchable, but it's uncomfortable.
Yeah. I'm going to say off rip, that's a little bit different than I was actually expecting to hear, but I like it. Here's what I think about that. And I'm going to talk about from the perspective that one of my college professors gave me early on. My freshman year of college, I took a bunch of like foundation art classes. And one of my favorite classes was a 3D design class where we basically did no pencils, nothing like that. And we had to physically make sculptures and stuff like that. And we made sculptures out of all kinds of stuff. Well, the final project was to spend less than $10 and we had to make a sculpture. So basically it was finding anything off the street. It was using recyclables, whatever you can find as the actual art piece. But you couldn't spend more than $10. Right. And I ended up making this I had 2 umbrellas. I had spun the metal pieces on the inside of them together, and then I put some lights on the inside. So it like when you lit it up, it actually like you were staring into stars, no matter where you were looking at. It was like crazy. It was super cool. They ended up putting it in the African Art Museum alongside 2 other pieces, because the top 3 pieces would get put in. And one of the things my professor told me is, don't let this be your like your magnus opum. Don't let this be your biggest piece. And
it's telling you not to peak in college.
One of the things, well, what he said is that, what she said actually was that when you make something, if this is the best thing you've ever made, you can't keep it. And I feel like that is what this artist is experiencing. On top of the fact that they may also have made a character that they see as themselves. You know what I mean? Plus, this is the piece that took them, skyrocketed them, so to speak, right?
Yeah, it is.
So they exactly let this be the best piece they've ever had, and they held on to it for too long.
That's interesting stuff, because that's exactly what they said, because he has other works, and his other works is fine. Like they do decent enough, but this Rent a Girlfriend is the show that got him, or the series that got him a show that got him, you know, popularity and
fame and notoriety.
Fame and notoriety. Exactly. So
stability.
Yep. So what you're saying totally makes sense. It's what is the solution here though? Like he literally made, like the video is absurd, because it just goes through his Twitter, and his Twitter is like, hey, meet my girlfriend Chitose, blah, 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 blah. And it just says a bunch of outrageous, outlandish shit. It's like, she's not real. And he draws, you know, there was one scene where he was looking out, he took a picture of his floor, and he drew her underwear on his floor. Like, it's like, you can't be that attached to the work. And now the series that people liked at first in season 1, because it did have a very interesting romantic concept that was unique in this genre. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I've watched a ton of Slice of Life, and there was nothing like this. And he take that series that people were starting to like and completely turn it on its head, completely turn it into a show that no one can stand. I mean, to put that into perspective, I think Rent a Girlfriend has like a 50 something on any list, which is so hard to do, because this is season 4, and only your diehard is going to watch a season 4. It now has a 60. Yeah.
And here's the thing with that, right? Because the creepiness factor comes into the fact that after watching it for 3 or 4 seasons, reading it for however many chapters long, and you realize that the progression has stagnated, or the tone is muted, because what are we here for at this point?
Yeah.
Not to mention, like you said, he is seemingly in love with this character.
Right.
Like I said, he could have made the MC to be like a reflection of him, but as a human being, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You age, you grow, and you have to come to terms with like certain things, right?
Yeah. Sure.
One of the things that you seemingly got to come to terms with is maybe this character that you're so in love with was you, and you have grown and changed at some point. But maybe, like I said, we're holding on to the show in the way that they haven't grown. And that is weird. That's what's making it weird, because when like I said, I wasn't expecting to even hear that, but it's like,
I just learned about this today.
That is wild to think that they love these characters, or love this character, not even these characters. You know what I mean?
That's exactly my point.
The reflection shows that they don't care about the show in its entirety. They just care about this character. That is indeed weird.
You write your main character to be this absurdly fucking just unredeemable lard of trash as a main character. I mean, he's god awful. For one, because he has 4 other love interests that are fantastic girls. Okay,
fantastic. Some of them women, seemingly better even in certain situations.
Yeah, fantastic women, and they're even better than Chitose. But to spite him, because I guess he can get close to Chitose in real life, or in his life, in anime life or mangaka life, he decides to completely disregard him and just send him down as fucking. It's like punishment. It's like he's punishing his own character. He hates his own character because he's close to Chitose, and now the dude does all the again $250,000. He helps her find new jobs. He helps her with her grandmother's situation. He does all this stuff, especially for her, just to be rejected. 380 chapters. I don't know another slice of life that has that many chapters. I just don't. It doesn't happen.
How many rejections is that though? Because it's not like he's only been rejected once.
No, because he hasn't confessed. This is the first time he's confessed. Like it was his legit confession. According to, the netizens. And he gets rejected after 380 chapters. I don't know what you do at this point. I don't know what the salute, is his all for a reason? Was that a cliffhanger to just say, hell, eventually she would accept him, or she denied him for a particular reason? I can't.
They have to, mind you, I normally don't recommend this. I'm going to be honest with you, because I think that it can lead to some very toxic behavior. But I'm going to say toxicity might be a good thing here. Read your comments.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah.
Oh my God. I'm or not even you. Let your editor,
yes,
your most trusted advisor,
yes,
find some comments and just bring them to you.
Just say here. Yeah, no, that's a good point.
And I hate to say it, because yes, you need to separate yourself from even what people think, right?
Absolutely.
If this is what makes you happy, I get it. Separate yourself from what people think. But when you start to leave reality,
yeah, it's unhealthy.
You're now detached from what is reality, right?
It's unhealthy.
You need something that does settle you in a little bit.
I gotta send you this.
Mind you, I can't say what's healthy for anybody. I'm not a psychologist, but I also understand this don't seem healthy.
It don't seem healthy at all. It's a sign of delusion that I've never seen before. And that's why I wanted to bring up the topic. Like how attached to the art can you be? Like, I love anime so much, and I tell you, the character I'm probably most attached to still to this day, possibly more than anybody. And it's about to sound cliche as hell, and I know it's the most average, most popular show of all time, but it still stands with me so much. It's Naruto. I feel like such an attachment to Naruto because of his upbringing, what he went through and what he fought through, and his display of his anger. It's certain shit that I see from Naruto that I could see myself in, and I'm attached to that character. It's one of my it's my favorite shonen of all time because of his charactership. But I can't think of anything else. My photography back in the day, I was attached to that. Oh, the old music videos. If I look at now, I kind of cringe at, but I'm attached to that. But I can't think of anything that I'm so attached to the point where I'm that delusional over it. But I guess it's different because this is a character he created. So I don't know.
And I want to say this. I want to ask you this, because I'm gonna say it where I thought it was gonna go.
Oh wait, I just thought of something. Something just popped in my head.
Ahead.
Can you let me? What if it was when the anime started? When the anime started, it's probably when he got this delusion, because she got a voice by the voice actress. She got motion. So by the actual animators or physics and whatnot, maybe that was what spurred his delusion.
I mean, that I agree with, because I would say it wouldn't spur it, it would just exacerbate it. You know what I mean? It would make it worse, explode it, so to speak.
Yeah. Bring it to the
because
forefront.
they probably fantasized about this character in the creation. You know what I mean? When they were making the art, drawing them and seeing where they were going to render, how the character renders out, right?
True.
Making the personality, and then like you said, now you add a voice, you add motion, and you're like, oh, this is exactly as real as I thought it was, but it's not.
What if it's not?
Not.
What if he's just attracted to the voice actress that is Chitose?
instead of just shoot your shot and then find out she married and then just let it go, bro. You got to move on.
I'm with that. Okay, so where were you going? Sorry, I just had that popped up in my head as I was thinking about it.
I'm gonna say over the last month, I've been seeing some very interesting things about what one person called nerdcore and the other one called the anime community.
Okay.
So one of them is a rapper, and they rap specifically about nerd stuff, anime, gaming. The other one is a cosplayer, and she does like cosplay skits, and she makes anime attire for people to wear. But they both kind of exited the community. And they said thank you to the community because of what it's done for them, the careers it's garnered for them, that kind of stuff. Yeah. But they both exited, and that's what I thought you were going to go with, the attachment to the art, right? But I found it extremely interesting because the rapper, his name is 6 Seconds. He's done battles, and he's also a rapper that Tory Lanez took an entire freestyle from and then repainted it for himself to say that he did it. But he talked about how when he was constantly, and he did it for probably for like 14 years or so, he rapped with like anime and gaming and his music, and the community begged for him to constantly, they kept saying, hey, do this, and then they would try and like force him to do stuff, and if he didn't do exactly what they wanted, they would downvote it or give him thumbs down because he didn't do what they wanted. And then he when he would do the stuff that had no rap, no anime or gaming involved stuff in it at all, they would say, why are you not doing this? Do the Evangelion rap, do the Pokemon rap, do the Smash Bros rap. And he was like, I'm not doing that just because y'all wanted to. Like, this is my passion project. This is what I like to do. Right. And like sometimes fans can be so hardcore that they kind of sap your love for some things, right? The girl, she just recently said she made a post about how this is what these silly anime skits got me, and she's in like a magazine for having millions of followers from anime, but she makes clothes and she makes music now, and she has like a little gaming centric house now, but she had to leave the anime community because when she was making her cosplays, people wanted to see her in certain things, and she was like, I don't like specifically showing off this and things like that. And I thought, I'm like, you have to detach yourself from the thing that has brought you so much like notoriety and things sometimes, and almost shift out and shift communities. Sadly for some people, because certain people can receive a little bit more pressure or hate for whatever. But it did suck to kind of see that, because both of them were people I followed when they were smaller, and then watch them blow up and get more popular, and then it's like they had to leave the community because it was just way more sometimes people can be a little sick or abusive because they don't get what they want out of it, the parasocial side of it. Like, we have a real cool community here. Our people is nothing but love, and we don't get like the mentalities that want to tear us down because we might have a differing opinion or we just don't want to talk about something. And all I can say is we appreciate that. But for those people who are in the communities where one fan who, mind you, why are you watching and listening to everything someone does just to tear them down every single week about something they might not agree with?
You know what I think about? I think about the fact that what you just said, I think it's because of, and this is, I'm going to speak on what you just was talking about, but I got to get this out. It's because of how we started. We didn't start on Twitter. We got Twitter later. Like, we started in June. We just was pushing it out. We didn't get a Twitter till August. But we already started having people coming in and listening. I think when people start, they rely so much on that social media being that piece that brings people in. And the social media they happen to use happens to be one of the most toxic of all time, and that's Twitter. And that's what got people probably into them. Or maybe, maybe it was YouTube recommendations or whatever the case may be. But either way, when you're doing something in this community, it becomes a wasteland because of the simple fact that if you don't do what they want because they feel like they're your boss, because technically they are, and in a lot of respects, If you don't do what they want, then their entitlement becomes absurd, because guess what? They don't get entitlement everywhere else. They're anime nerds, or they're gaming nerds, or they're, cosplay nerds, whatever the case may be. They don't get that entitlement nowhere else, but because they pay your bills, because they, put food on your table, because they gave you the fame and notoriety, they feel like they get to dictate on what you display to them. And it reminds me of me. Now, hear me out. I'm very small. This is very, very, very small piece of this. But 2016, roughly, is when I started popping the fuck off on Twitch. I was getting 50, 60, 70 viewers a stream. It got to the point where it was starting to get up into the hundreds. But the game I was playing, Black Desert Online, it was so taxing on me mentally that I couldn't take it anymore. I stepped back. Every time I stream anywhere past that, don't get nowhere near close to those numbers that I did back in the day. But every time, there's always people, and I still get messages to this day on Discord. Hey, you should come back to BDO. BDO got this, BDO got that. You come back to BDO, you'll do so good in BDO. And I see all the people that was in my streams, like Choice. Choice is one of the biggest BDO streamers. He was in my stream clipping and like, I want to stream, and asking me for advice and doing this. And now he's the biggest BDO streamer that they got. It was just a bunch of people and I see that. But the thing is I'm not so attached to that game, or to mentally being broken down, because I've been mentally broken down before, not even by like streaming, by other stuff, that I learned that lesson, that it's not worth being mentally brought down by a community or a group of people, because it is the worst feeling in the world. For example, when I was working at T-Mobile, I was so attached to being that manager. I was so attached to having you as my assistant manager, and we was fucking cooking and killing it. It was amazing. It was the best job I've ever had, the best time I had, working with the best people I've had the opportunity to work with. And then what they did to me happened. And that was the key to where I'm like, I cannot be too attached to the job, to the art, to anything, because once something like what happened to me happens, it crushes you. Like, that was the biggest, depression of my life. That was the worst time of my life, period. And I feel sorry for the fact that they had to leave, but I think that's the best thing that they could do in this particular. What I would suggest, though, to them is they do whatever the fuck they want anyway. And like, they already, quote unquote, made it. So just do whatever you want. Don't read the comments. Don't get on Twitter. Deactivate the Twitter if you have to. Do what you want to do. Do what you love.
And that's exactly what I think, is that, like, once you've gotten to a point, and I've seen this conversation with other people, like, once you've gotten to a point to where your crowd has diversified enough to where you can kind of do whatever you want to. Because there was somebody I saw, and I think you and I were talking about this, how people transitioned out of whatever specific game they were playing to other games, and how actually difficult that can be, right?
It's very hard.
There's a streamer I watch, MF Pally Time, and he strictly played Heroes of the Storm, and he had to switch out of games. But that's not, anime centric, but that is a thing where you try and diversify where you're working at to get into other fields, and, just make your life more centric to what you like. And I think that's exactly what they would need to hear, is what you said, do whatever you want. And I think he's doing that, and I think she's doing that, but I think the principle is that, like, turn out or shut down or shut out all the noise. You know what I mean? Don't listen to the things that others are necessarily saying when it comes to that.
I got a question for you. Do you think they needed to say, I'm out of this community? Do you think that's what they had to do, or they just chose to do it?
I don't think they needed to, but I will say this. Sometimes, because I don't think they need to. I think they could have just did it and just moved on, right? Made it like quiet. And there would have been fans who are still like, hey, why don't you do this anymore? Why don't you do this anymore? And those would have eventually fell off. And the people who stuck around for whatever would have stuck around. You just take the ebbs and flows as they come. But I do think that some fans appreciate the directness. You know what I mean? Like, hey, look, man. And I think that, there comes a point where people are like, I love the fact that you do anime, but you diversified, I see, and you do anime and games now, or you do more of this integrated into your content. And they're like, hey, now I feel more attached to you as a fan, because now I see you like more things that I like. And others are like, okay, well, I'm gonna stick around for probably just the anime stuff you talk about. I'm gonna just stick around for the gaming stuff you talk about, and I'm gonna fall off when that's done. Which that would still be appreciated. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that it is good to address it. You're going to receive the hate. You know what I mean? Regardless. Because I think the people who are going to hate are going to hate.
Saying, yeah.
Whether you say something or not. Yep. They're just going to eventually trickle off because you didn't say anything. But if you address it now, they're going to see it. They're going to hate, they're going to unsubscribe, and then they're gone. You got rid of them right now by addressing it right now.
Yep. I think it's that I think people are attached to their art. So when they see people complaining about their art that they love, it hurts them a lot mentally. Again, it hurt me to hear them say, you're not good enough to stay here, Tajay, or okay, you're not good enough to stay here, Tajay. So we're going to have to let you go.
Better than dude.
Yeah.
What is his name?
Blair, I think.
Brad?
Blake or something.
Yeah, Blair, Blake, something.
Yeah, something like that. But
I was so happy when I left her.
When that happened, I'm like, what? Like, my store's killing it. My staff is killing it. I'm a training store. You got me training people. Like, so
man,
how?
We were number one.
We were killing it.
Up from Ohio to New York, we was number one.
We were number fucking one. And it was a store that was at the bottom to number one. And it happened when I became the store manager. So how would you say that I'm not good enough? Oh, it's because you want to get your Blair, Blake, whatever his name is. But I digress. But again, I was so attached to that job, that store, the people, you know what I'm saying? Everything about it, that it gutted me. I think because I had that moment, and nobody has that. No, I don't think anybody in this day and age has that opportunity to have that moment until they get that notoriety or they fame and they start to get fucking punched in the face, tomatoes thrown at them, figuratively speaking. And just all this stuff like, do this, no, do this, no, you need to do this. If you don't do this, I'm going to subscribe. Blah, 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 blah. Once that start to happen, you read all that, you get fucking broken down, I'm sure. It's like, it hurts. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just want to do what you love. And if you feel like you can't, I think the right move, I think you were onto something when you said they didn't need to announce it, but it was good that they did because of what you just said. Because getting them out, weeding them out, and just like, okay, listen, I'm out of the community. Feel free to unsubscribe. Those that do, good. Those that don't, you continue to make what you want to make, and they'll come. You know what I'm saying? They'll still see it in the subscription list, etc. But man, I feel bad, man. I feel bad. The attachment. The community's attachment to your art is a two-way sword. It's a double-edged sword, you know? And it's a double-edged sword that you literally take with your head and you squeeze, because you either do what they want and you get more views, more money, more et cetera, more fans, or you do what you love and you hope to get that with a chance of you not. It's tough. Tough conversation, man. Tough conversation. Now, let us know what y'all think about that on the show notes too, because I'm curious. Like, not only with the rent a girlfriend stuff, but how are you with like your stuff, like your fandom, your favorite thing? Are you that attached to the point where you get upset when they don't do what you want? How does that make you feel? Let us know, because I'm curious.
Have you secretly yelled at Mike Check Waifu for not reviewing the anime that you wanted us to review?
Or are you, do you get upset when I talk about how bad Attack on Titan is? Just let us know.
Yes, thumbs down every single time, bro. Promised Neverland season 2 was peak.
No, I will quit this podcast if you ever believe that. Anyway, now, what I also wanted to talk about before we get to know my Check Waifu film, get into spoilers, because we are going to spoil ReZero. I got a comment from Rob Stone. I want to read about that. It's fantastic. There's a plan I want to do, and this is entirely up to y'all. Y'all don't have to join us if you don't want to. I need to double check it because I didn't do this beforehand, so forgive me. But I want to watch, and for Tella to be a rewatch, I want to watch Saga of Tanya the Evil, because I have not seen it. Okay, thank goodness. It's only 12 episodes, so I want to watch that before next season. Now we got 30 days, I think, before season 2 drops. So we're going to do a rewatch of that. But since we have 30 days, it's not really any pressure. You watch it whenever you You
3
can.
episodes a week starting this week.
3 episodes a week. Okay. 3 episodes a week of Saga, the Tanya of Evil, whatever that title is. That's perfect, actually. That is perfect.
Yeah, because that gives us 28 days.
Let me just add that to the list now then. That's perfect. It's real easy to do, especially with our short season. Cool. That's done. But is there anything else in our list that's not in our backlog? A show that you want to watch that you haven't picked up yet? That you want to, maybe bring in the future? Call it future planning? Because right now, I'm not seeing any season 2s that I'm really pressed on watching that I didn't already watch.
I don't. So off top of my head, I'm going to say there's not one, but I have stumbled across them every once in a while. The issue is that, and I'm just going to be honest with you, a lot of times it's shonen. Yeah. And sometimes I don't. And this is I'm gonna blame Polo. I don't really care sometimes. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. That's me, man. That's exactly how I be feeling.
If it's too heavily shonen.
Dude, that reminded me of the fact that I tried to turn on Senses to Be a Hero, right? I turned on Senses to Be a Hero. I think I was on episode, I can go into the list editor here. Yeah, I was on episode 8. I turned it on, and when I turned it on, for some reason on Crunchyroll, it defaulted to episode 11, and I didn't feel like I missed a fucking beat. Mm-hmm. And that to me was like, wait, how the 11? It says on A list I'm on 8. I go back to 9, 10, and then to 9, 9, 10. I'm like, wait, I didn't watch these. But literally, I didn't miss a beat because it was the same shit that was still going on for the past 4 episodes. But that is how I've been feeling about all shonen. Really, it's like I don't really care too much.
Yeah, it's literally just some things. You know what I mean?
So no future plans.
I'm trying to look really quick because I do have to catch up on Beastars.
Oh, I forgot that show. I'm like, Beastars. The fuck you thought? Yeah. That one's weird.
Yeah, but it's just because after season 2 started, the first few episodes of season 2, I was like, it's just okay. So
no, it's okay to not have
any. As of right now, I don't have any.
Yeah. The only one I had was the Saga of Tanya the Evil, because it was like this one. Oh, the other one is Ascendance Bookworm was the one that I wanted to add. Because I know a lot of our community loves that anime. And it's like 4 seasons though. Let me just type this here. So that's what I'm gonna add to. Because this was like when I always saw this show. But I never gave it a chance, only because it looked shoujo-y to me back then. Mm-hmm. Or a magical girl, and I wasn't for it. But now I'm more open.
Yeah, I can't lie to you. I don't see any that are coming out necessarily soon that make me want to do that.
I got another one, Aruma-kun. Welcome to Demon School. Aruma-kun was another one because that came out the same year as Ascendant. It's very popular in our community as well.
Maybe I'll watch some of the Fate series that I haven't completed.
Okay.
I think that could be a beautiful thing.
Of course it will be.
Just because there's so many that are there that I haven't touched. I finished the movies, but I haven't finished like some of those side series.
That is a good one. Oh, what was that other one? Crystal had it in her list. I think I tried to watch it, but for some reason the episode was a little. I wasn't in the mode for it. Just one of those moments. I can't think of it, but it's about the fucking dude was basically a god or a demon king or something like that. Crystal.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I was watching that. Maybe I can't think of it. It's something
and it's
Summoner,
like 3
right?
seasons. No.
I know what you're talking about, though. I know exactly what you're talking about. I just can't remember. It's on Crunchyroll. I know where. I can't think of what it is.
Is it Demon King? It's something like that, where he's like a super powerful beast or deity or some sort, and he hides and he goes to school. He goes to I'm describing it for Crystal. He goes to high school and he's like, he's basically so strong and don't nobody know it yet. And he meets this girl. She knows what I'm talking about. She gonna write the title.
Yeah,
for me.
please get it because I'm gonna add that to my list.
That one too.
That's the one I'm adding to the list.
So I think it's 3 seasons of it, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked interesting. So.
Thank you in advance, Crystal.
Thank you, Crystal. Yeah, that's all I wanted to see what we're gonna do. But let's get to know Mic Check Waifu. Part of the podcast where one of us rolls a number generator, the other is a question associated with that number to get to know us a little bit better. I got the list pulled up. I think I did it last week too, but
okay. I'll roll random number generator. We can do that.
Yeah, I already got it pulled up right here.
All right, the number is 51.
Have you ever been a part of an anime club or community?
Other than anime club or community, have I ever been part of one? Maybe other than ours.
Other than ours, I don't think I have.
I was a part of. There was one like a weightlifting anime community.
Okay.
On X or Twitter or whatever for a little bit that I was in, which would be the only one, mind you, other than Mic Check Waifu.
Yeah. I got nothing. I was never that type. I was never that type to be, outside of the people who I hang with, right? Let's start a group of communities and let's do this. Like when y'all did the I think y'all did there's a group of y'all that did the 100 anime challenge thing.
Oh yeah. That
never wanted to be a part of that. Never cared.
Two things really quick, because I'll say this: with the workout one, I was invited to that, and then the 100 anime thing was technically just a challenge posed by Panda at the time, and then Steve and I was like, hell yeah, we'll do it, and we made it a big thing, and didn't realize that it was going to be other people who really attempted to watch 100 anime.
And they swagger jack too. A lot of people took from y'all. I'll say it. Fuck it. They took from y'all, and they decided that this is what we're going to do all the time, and it's our idea, not y'all idea, but whatever. Yeah.
But you know how it is, bro. You know.
Trendsetter setting trends,
Mind you, we casually be watching 100 anime anyway, so whatever.
Like it's nothing. Well, I remember there was a conversation where somebody was trying to be like, "You're not watching 100 anime."
Literally.
What?
Literally. Dude, last week, what did I say? Dude said something about something because I said Grimguard Fantasy Ash was a top 10 anime. He was like,
bugging.
You haven't watched as much anime as me.
No.
Boy, shut the fuck up.
Go sit down.
I watch everything you watch and then some, my guy.
Yes.
Talking about something. I even took a break. I watched One Piece 10 times. When it was only 10 episodes long? You watch one episode 10 times? I don't want to hear that.
That don't even make any sense. Look, and what doesn't matter about that is you're talking about episodes, brother. You're talking about series.
Genres. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I probably got at least 10 in every genre. What are you talking about, bro? Yep. I'm talking about I think 200, 300, 400 shonen under the belt, bro.
What does my list say here? I know my list isn't 100% accurate, but to look, I have, does it say, 233 days watched.
Right.
Days.
Exactly.
And that's not fully accurate. Okay. So imagine if it was fully accurate, I would probably have a year worth of anime watched.
Exactly.
These are minutes. These are minutes, days, hours that they're counting. 233 days watched, which is absurd.
Who talking to us about how much anime we watch? Mind you.
I can't believe because it's not to brag. I know what you're about to say. It's not to brag, but let me say it for you so you don't sound egotistical. It's not to brag about how many tales watched. It's the fact that you decided to try to disrespect him by saying he doesn't know anything about anime when he has days, almost a year worth of shows. And it probably is when you do add it all up together.
Still be updating my list every once in a while. I'm like, oh man, I forgot. Let me go ahead and go back and add this.
Yeah. And that's what
What was that anime Hero 8? I was like, oh, I watched that when I was in second and third grade. You know what I mean? I was just like, come on, man.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
What are we talking about here?
It's crazy because I don't like to be that guy. You know what I'm saying? Well, actually, I have an anime podcast where we watch season of anime and we watch 100 a season. Well, actually,
you gotta get your glasses.
Yeah. Right. I don't like to be that guy either, but it's just I just like to talk about anime with people who enjoy talking about anime. That's all I want to do. I don't want you to try to, disrespect me or my brother about how much anime we watch. You just can't do it. Can't allow it.
And we love it.
All right. Anyway, let's get into spoilers talk. This week, we're going to spoil ReZero. Obviously. I mean, we got to. Because it's just that good. Can you go to Discord for me? Because I don't have Discord pulled up. Obviously, I have Discord pulled up, but it has our screens.
I'm looking at Discord right now.
You go to what Crystal said and read that.
For ReZero. All right, let's see. I'm getting stressed. Just give me the rest of the episode so I know he gets through this already.
That's about what we feel, but we're going to... That is the perfect way of what we feel. We're about to spoil episode 9 of ReZero, season 4. What else did she say? She said something else too. It's very poignant.
Hold on. Which one?
It should be right above that one.
You know how Tell will forever be mad at Polo for Clanad? This is how I feel about both of them getting me into this show, because, bruh.
It is so absurdly depressing and harmful to our soul. Okay, obviously, a big reveal happened that obviously is one of them, the gluttony people who ate Subaru's memories. Okay. I still do think your theory about the book thing is as accurate, but how did one of the gluttony people even get in here? That is my question.
Once the door was open, you know what I mean? Because once Subaru...
they came through the bottom, though. See what I'm saying? They came through the bottom underground. We didn't see another person fall under there. We didn't see obviously I'm letting ReZero do their right thing. Let me go to Rob Stone's comment before I forget. Because it is it's just so good, but it hurts. You know what I mean?
Every single time.
Every single episode hurts. He's a ReZero spoilers, and he tags it properly. He spaces it out perfectly. He said, God, this arc of ReZero is brutal. I'm surprised that none of the people in the initial loop after Subaru lost his memories mentioned the possibility of something related to gluttony happening. Example, another person in the tower taking memories. Given we've already seen memory loss before, but I do agree with them seeing Subaru as useless at this point. Effectively, he's like Rim. Someone they know now need help rather than someone who is useful. I was a bit surprised that they didn't get to see what happens. Oh yeah, I was a bit surprised that we didn't get to see what happened to Charlotte when she went crazy, as she had been killed when Subaru returned. But we may see it at some point. It's a little disappointment, but I'm sure it will pay off. And then finally, yay, Rim is back. Oh no, Rim is back. Oh, goodness, bro. Yeah, right. We talked about that last week. Tell thought that his friends were wrong for telling him he's useless. I was on the side of what Rob Stone is saying. He is. Like, it's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. He's fucking terribly useless. But yeah, I was disappointed too, not seeing what Charlotte could do or would do in a situation where she was activated. I'm sad that they kind of skipped that, but yeah, we could see that a little bit later as well.
What he said about no one saying anything about gluttony, right?
Yeah.
Here's one of the things.
And like the first loop when he said he don't remember anything.
Both of the gluttonies, because it's two gluttonies, right?
I think so. Yeah.
They do different things.
Brother and sister.
What if the one gluttony ate the memory for everyone to essentially know that the other gluttony exists? Not necessarily exists, but you can temporarily eat it so no one's even thinking about that gluttony. Like, people might be like, I know this, but I can't put my finger on it. You know what I mean?
The only person who would know it is Subaru.
Right. So they're only thinking about one gluttony at this point in time. You know what I mean?
Oh, and the gluttony that ate Julius's name basically. Because one eats names, one eats memories. Right? Is that how that goes? If I remember correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's interesting.
The name is so like they can eat that gluttony's name and nobody remembers it. But also we don't know if they have the ability to give it back. You know what I mean? So if they have the ability to eat it and then they give it back at another time, it's like, God, I didn't even expect this to be what it is right now.
Exactly.
So they might not even see this gluttony coming because it's already been basically separated from them.
Yeah, no, good point. That's a good point. It hurts because why did it have to be Subaru? It could have been anybody else, but Subaru losing his memories is like the worst thing that could happen. Obviously, we see what could happen. Somebody starting fresh with all that character development he had now has nothing. Now he has to start over from this situation. I do like how Subaru, though, after his psychosis manic moment that he had, I do like how he decides to, okay, let me figure out which one of these motherfuckers killed me. And he's like, so you could think to yourself, like, now that Subaru is a fresh Subaru, he could think freshly, right? So, because anybody could be gluttony, probably. I didn't know gluttony could turn into people. I don't know how it works. So it's hard to say that if he can turn into somebody or not. Well, yeah, because we know that he turned into Rim.
Mm-hmm.
Or did he just?
Or did he use the other one's power? What was it? Lust? Not Lust. Was it Lust?
It is Lust.
So maybe use that power, like not use their power, but they use their power on him to make him look like something else. But even to like look at that a step further, right? Because that we do know that, or hopefully, with the whole point in coming here was so that they can recover the memories.
Right.
If the ability to recover the memories are here, Subaru will regain his memories then.
Yeah, true.
The issue is that gluttony is still there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, touche. Touche. Damn. What do you do?
Mind you, everybody was dead, so that all we can assume is that gluttony was able to take out all of them, including Shaula.
Right. Which is absurd to see. I wish we would have saw what would happen. Again, this is what makes ReZero so good, because we don't know unless the main character knows. And I think this is one of the first shows that did that started that particular trend in 2016. We don't know until the character knows. So because Subaru was down at the bottom, underground, trying to get the fuck out,
incapacitated,
everything that happened above him happened. You know, we didn't see Beatrice, we didn't see Emilia, he didn't see Beatrice, he didn't see Emilia, so he assumed that they're the ones that are the quote unquote killers. Man, this is a tough situation, because I don't know. The only other option I got is that he has to go to that library and find out what the fuck he was in there sleeping or doing. Like that's his only option that he has in this loop, in this new loop where he's trying to figure out who's who and what's what, is to go back to that library.
I don't think actually it's too different, right? Because what if in this world they treat the loss of your name like a death? So what if he does have a book there?
Interesting.
And he can uncover that. But I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, no.
Like not loss of his name, but loss of your memories like a death. You know what I mean?
Well, he's died before. So do those deaths, 20-something deaths count?
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know.
He has died before quite a few times.
I don't know. This fucking hurts, man. It hurts because again, you can't guess ReZero. I think your theory last week is the closest thing we got to ever predicting anything with this show. And I think, again, there's still time. There's still ways we can prove that to be true. Even if it is wrong, I would say your theory was so, it feels so spot on that I wouldn't be mad if we're wrong. Because I'm like, I can't think of no other way.
Yeah.
Ugh, dude, I never thought it would be Gluttony or whoever, brother or sister, or whoever, whichever one does what, would be in here. But when I saw Rem, I'm like, that's the only way. Because not only did she say, find out next time, hero, which means that it had to be Gluttony, because Gluttony is the only person who eat memories and then knows the other person's life to say, find out, find me next time, hero. Gosh damn, man. Was that the loop with the black smoke too? The miasma, I think it was.
Yes.
Crazy.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what's gonna happen, but
what if Amelia turned into, after she saw everything that happened, what if she turned into Satella right there at that moment, and that's what that black smoke was?
That would be.
Didn't that be insane?
That would be a revelation.
Yeah, dude. That's the only thing, because we didn't see Amelia or Beatrice's body. I mean, we wouldn't see Beatrice's body because she's a spirit, but damn, man.
I love that we have 19 episodes.
I know, bro. I know.
Oh my God, I'm so happy this is not over soon.
No, I know. That's what you want to go.
I was about to panic. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was about to panic, bro.
We only got 12.
We only got 12. What are we gonna do?
Oh my goodness, it was so good. It's so good. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about Reincarnated as a Slime, because this Reincarnated as a Slime season 4 episode 9. Because this brought about a topic in the Discord that was interesting. Again, I still think your theory sucks. And the reason being is because if the power of greed is not strong enough to capture Yuki, and Yuki's doing this for whatever fucking reason, it has to be, like I said, it has to be revenge. And if it's revenge, that's very tacky writing, terrible writing. Because if it's something revenge worthy, right? If you're trying to get revenge on something Marabella did, then you want to get Rimuru on your side. The best way to get Rimuru on your side is to just talk to him. And he knows that. And he would know that because he's smart. Like, he's not a fucking idiot. Nobody a part of this upper echelon of characters are idiots. So if he's not being controlled by Maribel, like you're saying, and he's deciding to still fight Rimuru and her, it's the dumbest move you can possibly do, because it's Rimuru and it's Maribel. So it's like it's dumb. It would make him a dumb character. So right. If greed is not actually controlling him, like you say, like you think.
Okay. So, and here's how I'm seeing it, right? And I literally just thought of this while I was watching the show. Because I get why you're saying he's dumb, but I don't see it that way.
It would be he's dumb.
So what if he does have a unique ability? His unique ability is something like called Deceiver, where he allows himself to deceive anyone who sees him by specifically hiding his unique ability, and he can't be mind controlled or anything like that, right? Just let's just say it's that. We don't know, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. If his ability is to deceive others, hide his history, hide his past, hide his stats, he could already be a demon lord and no one knows it. He could have been here for so long. He could have never been Yuki. And I'm just saying that's just a bunch of what if, right? But I do think that as someone in this world with his station, him siding with her in this moment doesn't necessarily impose the idea that he is, I'm gonna say, it doesn't impose the idea that he is necessarily against one or the other until something else happens, right? I think him pretending to be controlled by Maribel allows him, like I said, insight, information, what she's thinking, what she's planning. Let's say they get to a point to where the tides turn, he could say, boom, Rimuru, I was never under control. I found out what her overall plan is. I have this information. I know where the old hero is. You know, he has all this extra information that he can utilize to make sure that things he needs goes his way. He can utilize that information to switch sides with Rimuru and say, boom, I was never on their side. I was just using this to get us in a better position, etc. I don't think that that's also an indication of bad writing. I think it's just an indication that we've been deceived the whole time, like I said, where it could have been an intentional deception since the very first time we met him.
That could be the only right explanation to him not being a dumb character, though. Because if that's the case, that's the only answer. What you're saying is the only answer as to why that wouldn't be dumb writing. But he could still be, you know, I mean, he could be a dumb character, you know what I mean? And I'm not disagreeing with that either, brother. I don't
100%.
I don't think he is, though. That's the point I'm trying to make. He's not dumb, but I do think because of her power, there's something in him that he's greeting for again that would allow her to take control of it, and that's what makes her such a threat. Which would be better writing, in my personal opinion, because I think to have a threat that strong. Obviously, it's okay for it not to work against Rimuru because Rimuru has Raphael, and Raphael is a whole nother fucking beast in itself. So that makes sense.
Right. But why not use that same threat power, I think, like we talked about before,
lazy writing,
with another demon lord? You know what I mean? Why not use that same power with another demon lord? Why not? Why let Milim run free? Which we know Milim had mind control that could not work on her per se, right?
Right.
But if we know that Milim has greed.
No, she didn't. No, she doesn't, I should say. Well, I guess she do, in a sense, with this dragon they just introduced, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But I think when she wasn't controlled by Clayman, they kind of figured she couldn't be, right?
But why would someone who has the power to control someone, the greedier they are, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't they use any other demon lord then? Knowing that there's other demon lords, knowing that, like, they are inherently greedy, because Rimuru is just not greedy. You know what I mean? And his greediness would be more considered towards, like, making equality for everyone, right? But that's not really a greedy thing.
Would it be safe to say then that all demon lord level folks can't be controlled?
Then what I guess what I'm saying in that next regard is, why would a hero level character be controllable then? If the heroes are the only ones that can fight demon lords.
Well, they're greedy. I think Hinata, is her name Hinata?
Hinata?
Is that her name? I want to make sure I get her name right.
Because she's a hero level character.
Yeah, but wasn't she also controlled? I guess she was given misinformation, not necessarily controlled, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's her name.
Because I don't see her power if, like I said, the greed amplifies her strength on things, right? On people, on beings.
Controls, yeah. Suggestion, if you will.
Yeah, she should be able to impose that Like literally, the stronger a character is, a lot of times the more greedy they're represented as. They should be easier to control for her.
Yeah, she even said like it
because then she wouldn't be afraid of Veldora if greed was a thing. If knowing that somebody was greedy and the things that they would want out of life, Veldora has shown nothing but straight greed, just wanting everything that Veldora has come across.
No, I see. Now I think you're painting a broad brush here, because I think you're calling.
I understand that you're saying like it's more about like a specification of a specific goal and how bad they want that specific thing.
Yeah, and again, somebody like Veldora, you think Veldora could probably be controlled, but they didn't meet yet. So that isn't relevant to this conversation. The only relevance to this conversation is Yuki. Again, it's everything is leaning towards him being influenced. If he's not influenced, then like you said, the only way it could even make sense logically would be that he's trying to flip on Maribel as well to get all the information he possibly can. But you don't think telling Rimuru that wouldn't be a good idea? You don't think letting him know that this was a part of the plan would be better instead of having him as a potential enemy? You know what I'm saying? Like it's fucking Rimuru, for fuck's sakes. Like having him as a potential enemy, and you have plenty of opportunities to. Like y'all met a couple of times before that, and then right before he discovered what your goal was, or you betrayed him, you still had time to tell him. You know what I'm saying? Like it was so many opportunities to plot and figure it out, that for him not to be controlled and just do this, it just doesn't feel right. It wouldn't feel right if it wasn't that, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah.
Show's fantastic.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. And I like the I like how they are leaning into certain aspects, though. You know what I mean?
Yes, absolutely.
They did bring Maribel to the forefront. You know what I mean?
Love that.
It's like they didn't run away from the trap. It was, and to me, it's seemingly they're putting Rimuru in a place where he knew he was obviously walking into a trap, and the character being predictable to Raphael, which is crazy. Yeah, I love Raphael so much. Me too. Puts Maribel in a position where it's like you don't. I don't think Maribel really has a chance at winning here, but I will say Milim being preoccupied does add another level to it, right? Because they view Milim as a problem and don't think Subaru is as big as a problem as Milim. Yeah, they don't. I said Subaru. They don't view Rimuru as big of a problem as Milim, whereas Milim is like she respects who Rimuru is. Which I feel like should speak volumes, but they don't know yet. And I feel like they about to pop off and let us know.
What you said makes a whole lot of sense. Like when you said that they don't know, or when they bring Maribel to the forefront, is because she understood after her agent was captured that she ain't had no, like that's why I'm so captivated on how smart the writing is, and they wouldn't pull something so stupid, because when she figured out her agent was caught, she was like, look, we got to do this. We ain't got no choice. We got to move this plan into action now, because now he knows everything. So because he knows everything, he knows who I am, he knows what my goals are for the most part, I have to pursue this. I have to do it now. And she just throws everything. She throws the kitchen sink at him. Is it going to be enough? Probably not, because we still have 49 more episodes.
I love how me and Incarnated Slime do that. They'd be like, here's 60 episodes.
Yeah, and then the head seems to be coming to a head right now. I can't wait, man. I can't wait. We only got a few more days. But anyway,
bro.
I'm at Polo Borfly on all social media.
I'm at King Tanya on all social media.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@MikeCheckWaifu. Subscribe to our gaming podcast, youtube.com/@RespectGames, RESPEC. And as always, Mike Check.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu.